you know, he picked the wrong family, and not scared of a conflict, and we're not scared. We're not running. We're coming at him.
Hey guys, it's Franky. What the heck have I got going on here with holy smokers? Did you guys hear all that? So I don't look very clear, do I? So how you guys doing? Okay, I'm gonna figure this out. What the hell? So I thought we'd go over Lori Daybell today. Okay, I've got an echo. So how's everybody doing? Easter's like tomorrow. Okay, how does this work? Is this any better, guys? Oh, la la la, success! Echo gone. Echo gone. Good Lord, Martha. Morning, Shauna. Everything goes super smooth until it doesn't. So what I want to do is just kind of go through the timeline. And we know that opening statements start on Monday. So talk a little bit about that. And just kind of see, let's just check her out a little bit. There is so much with this case, kind of like the Murdochs, but even more so. The trail of bodies that these people have left behind them is unreal. So I thought maybe what we'll do is we'll start with the timeline and then basically get into like what happened Friday and what we're expecting out of Monday. So Monday, in my opinion, should be fairly interesting, but there's no cameras. So we're not liking that a whole bunch. You ready for Easter? I'm on my own on Easter, so I think what I'll do is just buy like chocolate Easter bunnies that are on sale and get a great big vat of peanut butter and sit there and see if that helps my diet any. Okay, so a timeline of the trial of mystery deaths surrounding the Doomsday Cult Mom. So this is from the Independent, which is in the description. Check them out. So let's check it out, guys. Let's see what we got going on here. I probably have it on mute because that is what I do. Let's check it out. Here I am thinking I'm all organized, right? Down, boy. There we go. I just love the music that came along with that video that Mexi did up for me. I could sit here every time I use that intro. I'm like here going, "Nee, nee, nee, nee." I love it.
Just 2 months before the killing of her two children, 16-year-old Tylee Ryan and 7-year-old Joshua J.J. Vallow. This is Lori Vallow being interviewed after the murder of her husband, Charles Vallow, in July of 2019.
He's always mad at me, right? And he doesn't want a divorce, but I don't like him and don't want to deal with him, so that's just how it is. So we married for 14 years, we dealt with it for 14 years.
Then newly released evidence about Charles Vallow's
Alrighty then. Don't do it.
shooting death includes photos, police body cam video, and video of Tylee Ryan, seen crying before being interviewed by a detective. She describes hearing her stepfather argue with her mother and the man police say shot and killed him, her uncle Alex Cox.
Honestly, it feels like 2 seconds and 40 minutes at the same time. I just kind of heard yelling over everything. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I kind of just do that whenever things are like really loud. I kind of just like tune what people are saying out.
Video also shows Cox being questioned. He died of natural causes in December of 2019.
Or did he?
Before any charges were filed against him. Lori Vallow and her new husband, Chad Daybell, have pleaded not guilty to killing JJ and Tylee, who were reported missing in the fall of 2019. Their remains found in Daybell's backyard the following summer.
Unreal, guys. Unreal. It always amazes me because you expect people that are capable of a lot of this stuff to, you expect people that are capable of doing this stuff to look like big, hairy monsters. And they don't. They look like us. They look like our neighbor. They look like our relatives. They look like all of us. But something in their brain is just like, click. I mean, car terms, they're not running on all cylinders. So the final jury that will hear testimony in the trial of Lori Vallow has been selected in the Ada County Court in Idaho. The jury selection process proved challenging throughout the weeks as prosecutors and the defense struggled to find jurors who were not familiar with the case, which sent shockwaves across America. They're always so dramatic. So could you imagine how many people really are out there that have not heard about the case in one form or another? I heard about it right away. For whatever reason, it didn't really interest me. I just thought, oh my God, some more wackadoodles running around Hawaii. And then I've got some family members that were kind of like, I'm watching this when it first came out. So now that it's at where they're going to trial, I'm kind of catching up. And whoa. So after 5 days, the initial pool of 1,800 jurors was narrowed down to 18 on Friday, 12 who will deliberate, and then the 6 alternates. We did see in the Murdoch case that having 6 alternates was truly the way to go, because right away they started getting sick with COVID. And I think by the end of the trial, they only had 1 left, if I remember correctly. So this comes after Ms. Vallow lost her bid to block her slain son's grandparents from the trial. She went hard. Probably will say in here, the judge ruled on Thursday that Joshua, or JJ, Vallow's grandmother, Kay Woodcock, can hear the entirety of the testimony, while the grandfather, Larry Woodcock, can be present after his own turn on the stand. And if rumors are right, he is supposed to be one of the first. Miss Vallow is charged with the deaths of her 7-year-old son, JJ, and 16-year-old daughter, Kylie, who were last seen alive September of 2019. Their bodies were discovered buried in her new husband, Chad Daybell, property in Rexburg, Idaho in June of 2020. Opening arguments are set to begin on Monday. So there's a whole bunch of different things that a person can kind of look up if you guys want to. Google. I'm sure I'll be putting out more on this. So the key points on this right now is JJ and Tyre's loved ones will be allowed to hear testimony. Opening statements begin Monday. And Lori is seen in courtroom sketches, a timeline of the trial, and mystery deaths surrounding Lori. So yeah, they're sketching like they're really going old school, aren't they? They're literally sketching. I think I do have a tab up somewhere where it shows a bunch of the sketches. I'm sorry, look at my lighting. I've worked for like 2 days on this. If I put it the other way, there's just like a blob here, and then you can see my hands like a ghost. Ooh. I'll figure it out. Well, hello, James. Good to see you, friend. So let's take a look over here. And how would I do it properly? Okay, so let's check this out. So day 5, jury finalizes in Lori Vallow Daybell's case, opening statements to begin on Monday. What the hell are they doing?
Good morning. It is almost 10:50 in Boise, and court has been dismissed for the day in the Lori Vallow Daybell case. Wanted to give you a brief update. We have a jury. After 4 days of jury selection, a jury has been finalized. There's 10 men and 8 women who are on the jury, and there are 18 total in the group. So there's going to be 12 jurors and 6 alternates. We don't know who the alternates will be, and they don't know who they will be until everything wraps up, until deliberations. So basically, they were instructed by the judge, you all need to act as if you are the jurors through this whole case and take this very seriously. He admonished the jurors they cannot consume media about the case. If anybody asks them about the case, they need to say, I serve on the jury, I cannot talk about it. They cannot talk about it with anyone. They can't text or email or tweet or do anything of the sort when it comes to this case. So it was a relatively short morning. They had a total pool of 45. The judge dismissed 3 right off the bat. There was 42 left, and then out of the 42, each side got to dismiss 12. 12 on the prosecution, 12 on the defense, and then quietly they went through lists and they struck them. We don't know who was who, but they went back and forth, and then the judge read the remaining numbers of those who were dismissed, and they were free to go, and the rest were the jurors. So that's how it went down. Short morning. Monday at 8:30, court begins. The actual trial portion. Opening statements will begin with the prosecution and the defense, should they choose to give an opening statement, and then we will have witnesses called and evidence will begin, and this will be the next 7 or 8 weeks, happening every day. So that's what happened this morning. We have a breakdown of, minute by minute details. If you head over to East Idaho News, you can read about it.
I was going to say that you want to go to East Idaho News. He is the best information out there is with this Nate. He lives in that area. This is his the area he covers with Idaho News. Is that what it's called? I can't get in there. Oh, Idaho Statesman. That's what it is. I can't get in there anymore unless I subscribe. I've used up all my free stuff. So he did let you know that there's 10 men and 8 women that are going to be on this jury, and it will begin at 8:30 in the morning, followed by witness and evidence. Let's see here. So this gives us kind of a breakdown. I'm going to come back. So guys, just a question. Do you guys care if I vape? Does that look horrible? I don't want to do the wrong thing, but it's literally my medication for my owies. So I always have to click off, and then I can't talk with you. but I really don't like to go without because things can tense up and I can end up in trouble. I use this for relaxation for my body instead of getting on some pretty ignorant pills. So is that okay? Do I offend anybody if I do this? I don't like offending people. Can you guys hear me? Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? No response. Uh-oh. Oh, thank you, James. Okay. Do I offend you if I vape? Just a yes or no works. Thank you so much, James. Tell me if I don't want to be rude. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. I hide because I don't like to offend people, but literally, I use this so I can avoid things like opiates and narcotics. That's not what I'm interested in. So, thank you. Thank you. You're really awesome, James. I'm so glad you're back. Thank you, Shauna. I just adore you. Damn it. I just adore you. Okay, well, jump back in now that I know I'm not offending anyone. So this here is basically that timeline that Nate just went over. So how long is this? What have we got going here? How long?
Expressed here today during voir dire, I do find it's appropriate to sustain the challenge by the state. So
yeah, no, right? I don't want to do 3 hours of listening. We can do better than that. Okay, let's do this. I've got the affidavit as well, but it's a long one. Keep an open mind. Jury selected in Lori Vallow Daybell's case. The volume. And
so what's the process of seating the jury today?
Yeah, we're going from 45 down to 18 today.
How do you do that? What do you do to do that today?
Lots of factors.
Lori Vallow Daybell's defense attorneys walking into the Ada County Courthouse this morning just hours before the jury was officially seated. Vallow is the Rexburg mom accused of murder, conspiracy to commit murder, and grand theft in the deaths of her 2 kids and her current husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell. After 4 days of jury selection, the defense and prosecution chose the 18 people who will serve on the jury for the next 2 months. And, you know, myself and Morgan Romero have been in court all week long. And Morgan, you join us now. And you were there this morning when the jurors were picked.
Yeah, sure. As you know, because you sat inside that courtroom from morning until evening, it's been long this week from Monday through Thursday. The court hearings have been really long. Today, though, jury selection went a lot quicker than we all sort of expected, right? Attorneys had already chosen who they wanted on their case before today in a process called peremptory strikes, which I'll get into a little bit later. They chose who they wanted or didn't want to sit on the jury.
wow.
Over the past 2 weeks, attorneys and the judge very carefully narrowed the pool down from 1,800 potential jurors to their final 18, 12 jurors and 6 alternates, 10 men, 8 women. It's taken all week to...
So what do you guys think of these sketches? Like, holy old school. It's just bizarre to see it again.
Find a fair and impartial jury because of pre-trial media publicity and hardships that won't allow potential jurors to commit to spending 8...
Sorry. That just does not look like Lori Vallow to me. The sketch artist, well, I think he needs a little bit more practice.
weeks of their lives serving on this jury. This morning, the defense and prosecution used a process, as I mentioned, called peremptory strikes or peremptory challenges. That means they excuse people without explaining why, essentially dismissing potential jurors because they wouldn't help their case. This is different from the process that played out all week when attorneys had to explain why they wanted to eliminate someone. Right off the bat today, the judge dismissed 3 backup potential jurors out of the 45 they started the day with. So they had to get to 42 all week. They started with 45 just in case. And then each side got 12 peremptory strikes. 24 people were excused, and they were left with their final 18. Former Ada County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Gene Fisher thinks it really helped both sides that people called to jury duty filled out a 20-page questionnaire last week before questioning this week. By the way, Fisher has no connection to this case.
All of the really big questions, a lot of the theme questions, a lot of the concerns, I'm sure were addressed in the questionnaire. So when they whittled it down to 42, it definitely made it much simpler last night to go through those. They had to do a lot of work to get there, but at least they already had their questionnaires for the 42 that they knew were picked. And so I think that probably sped things up quite a bit. And having moved the case here to Ada County, where we have a much larger jury pool and population.
Yeah, there was not a lot of discussion in court today, and attorneys didn't even question the potential jurors like they've been doing this week. Today, the judge gave the jury very strict instructions as well. He ordered them not to talk about the case, not to research it, and not to watch, listen, or read the news. They need to keep an open mind throughout the trial and work together in deliberations, not come to any sort of conclusions before talking amongst each other as a group.
I do not understand these people. I mean, we know what just happened, and they just are walking around happy as a fly in shit.
He told them part of the reason they were chosen and approved by attorneys and the court is because they have confidence the jurors will follow instructions throughout the trial. By the way, jurors won't know who is an alternate until after the evidence is submitted and the jury is deliberating, so not until the end of the case. Fisher says that's so everyone stays invested in this case the entire time. Opening statements will start Monday morning at 8:30 a.m. and then following opening statements, evidence will be presented. I'm told everyone inside the courtroom and the overflow room will see all the evidence that the jury will see. And by the way, as we've been doing all week, we had to do this again for Monday. We've been having to reserve a spot in the overflow room because we haven't been allowed in the courtroom since jury selection is closed. But as this progresses and there's room in a courtroom and an overflow room, we have to reserve seats 24 hours in advance. And just to highlight and put into perspective how high profile this case is and how much media attention is on it, those seats today for Monday filled up in 2 minutes.
Wow.
2 minutes.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Whoa.
It shows, it's a testament to how popular or how much interest is in this trial alone.
Exactly. And coming up at 4:30,
Unreal.
I'm going to talk about the instructions that.
Can you guys imagine 2 minutes? And you have to book the day before. Oh my word. Good Lord. This woman, I tell you what, the way I'm seeing it, I could be mistaken, but she does seem to be the catalyst to absolutely everything that went on. Boise, Idaho. The final jury selected in the trial for Lori Vallow or Lori Vallow Daybell left the Ada County Courthouse for the day with numerous specific instructions from the judge in order to maintain a fair trial through the next 8 weeks. And then they have Chad. Ooh, boy, oh boy. The jury, consisting of 10 men and 8 women, includes 6 alternates. Those alternates will not be informed of their status until deliberation begins, so they can hear all of the evidence against Vallow. She is charged with death, conspiracy, and grand theft related to her 2 children. This is the thing, her children. JJ or Joshua Vallow, Tylee Ryan, her husband's late wife, Tammy Daybell in Eastern Idaho. Her husband, Chad Daybell, is also charged in these deaths and will be tried separately. So where is her husband, her last husband? because Alex did something with him too, right? Did she not have something to do with that? Or is she, I'm going to have to look into that, because I don't think she was ever cleared. I don't think she was ever cleared. So related to the 2 deaths of Joshua, JJ, and Tammy Daybell. We know that Chad's also being tried. Daybell, but it was later taken off the table. Oh, they're about the death penalty. They did have that on the table for a while, and then they talked about it, and it's not an option for her. But I think it still is for him. The jury selection was made official after prosecutors and the defense were given an opportunity to strike jurors they didn't want on the real jury. The court began with 42 potential jurors, and each side was given the ability to eliminate 12 people that they didn't want. This was done in silence, as attorneys do not have to disclose why they moved to excuse them. So, former Ada County Chief Deputy Prosecutor Gene Fisher thinks it's really helpful, both sides, that people called to the jury filled out 20 pages of questions last week before being questioned this week. I think that's a great idea, because you get a good way of starting to vet these people ahead of time. And all of the really big questions, a lot of the theme questions, a lot of the concerns, I'm sure were addressed in the questionnaire. So when they whittled it down to 42, it definitely made it much simpler last night to go through those. And I bet it did. They had to do a lot of work to get there, but at least they already had their questionnaires for the 42 that they knew they picked. So yeah, they vetted them, which is just perfect. So the judge, Stephen Boyce, warned the jury to keep an open mind. The jury is not going to be sequestered, although I guess they're saying it could happen. So they have to be very strict standards. According to Boyce, the jury cannot discuss the case with anyone, including other jurors. They cannot email, text, tweet, or blog. They also must not or refrain from searching social media and watching or reading the news. If someone is persistent on talking about the case, the jurors, they're required to report it to the bailiff. So in, oh my word, in Gannon's trial, they talked it kind of towards the end. She is sitting in her little corner, allegedly, sitting in her little corner there, you know, Cousin It style. And I guess she's been smiling and like mouthing things to the jurors, like, I'm innocent, it wasn't me type thing. This is what I've been hearing, that she's literally trying to make contact with those jurors a little. That's not cool. That's not cool. Allegedly, but oh boy. Okay, let's see. Back to this. It can be tempting to do research, he told the jurors, but they must resist temptation for our justice system to work, which is fair. Boyce also joked if jurors have any dangerous hobbies, they should probably wait until after the trial. He's like, wear your seatbelt, put off skydiving and chainsaw juggling. He told the jurors that part of the reason they were chosen and approved by attorneys in court is because he and the attorneys in the case have confidence that the jury will follow his instructions throughout the. This is just like a nice and polite one, just like Gannon's case. It's absolutely critical they follow his instructions. One of the worst things that can happen is if they don't follow it and they don't tell. And then they're in the jury deliberations, for instance, and they start to talk about something that they heard outside of the courtroom. It pollutes the whole trial. Fair enough. And then he says, and then you have to start all over. Yeah, they would. Mistrial and all of that. So They have to behave. It would be a terrible travesty if the jurors really don't take this to heart and be as careful as they can, and that they don't listen to anything or don't outwardly look for anything. So stay away from those papers, the internet. Opening statements we know are Monday at 8:30. And the defense can choose not to provide opening statements and wait until they begin their case. Well, I did not know that. There we go. Oh, I agree. Staring at the jury and mouthing words is what I heard. So they did talk about it. It was after the court day had ended, and they're trying to figure out how to deal with this, whether or not they should, the judge should approach them and do whatever he was going to do there. But what they decided to do is not say anything. Judge isn't going to respond. No one's going to respond. So maybe what they're going to do is just wait and see if they can catch her doing it. But yeah, that's what they're saying. Okay, we're going to jump over here for a minute. It's really too bad that they're doing this trial the way they're doing it. Oh, it's live. No, thank you. But it's very nice. Okay, so Boise, Idaho. On day 5 of the trial, we watched Lori Vallow more engaged than ever. She and her 2 attorneys whispered over which 12 jurors they would strike from the pool. She took notes and focused. Well, that's different for her, right? She's usually kind of like... So the prosecution struck 12 jurors as well, and now selection is over. But last Monday, Tracy Poff was summoned for jury duty, entered a packed courtroom. I saw her and turned to a lady that was standing to might, and I said, holy explicative, yeah, that's Lori Vallow. So, yeah, big deal. But she seemed, I don't know, she seemed excited about it. I get excited about I mean, some of these cases I would love to go to.
18 jurors will be sworn in on Monday for the Lori
buddies.
Vallow trial in
And
Boise,
she wouldn't
Idaho.
excite
And
me.
then the opening arguments begin.
But first,
Piss me
tonight we
off.
hear from a woman who almost landed on the jury. Fox 10 investigator Justin Lum has the exclusive interview tonight. Justin.
And Brian, Christina, remember 1,800 people here in Ada County were summoned for jury duty. They were asked to fill out questionnaires so the court could figure out how much they knew about this case and how fair they would be. We met with a woman who did not make it on the jury, but she describes emotions we've rarely seen from Lori Vallow. Day 5 of trial, we watched Lori Vallow more engaged than ever. She and her 2 attorneys whispered over which 12 jurors they would strike from the pool. She took notes and looked focused. Prosecution struck 12 jurors as well, and now selection is over. But last Monday, Tracy Poff was summoned for jury duty and entered a packed courtroom.
I saw her and I turned to a lady that was to my right and I said, holy that's Lori Vallow.
Face to face about 20 feet away, Vallow is charged with first-degree murder and conspiracy in the deaths of her kids, 7-year-old JJ Vallow and 16-year-old Tylee Ryan. She's also accused of conspiring with her husband, Chad Daybell, in the murder of his first wife, Tammy Daybell. As the judge read the charges to the group,
I made direct eye contact with her, locked eyes with her. Not long after, I could tell that she was starting to cry. And she had to pick up her glasses to wipe her tears.
Poff has followed the case through media coverage, shocked by Vallow's sudden tears.
And the bailiff took the box of tissues over to her and she said thank you to the bailiff.
The group was then asked to fill out questionnaires.
I think it was question 6 that asked if I knew who the names Tylee, JJ, and then Tamra. That was one of the questions that was on the bottom of the third page. And I said, yes.
She would be excused from trial via email. She says the moment in the courtroom with Vallow was surreal. And as a mother of two, something triggered her.
Why the emotion now?
So I don't know. Like, I find it really odd that someone would go, oh, and there's Lori Daybell. Like, no, that's not cool. I mean, okay, you've seen Lori Daybell. I would be, I think, more angry if I seen her than I would be like happily. I don't know. There'd be no joy in seeing that woman.
You have not shown any emotion this entire time. And now that the charges are being read of your children being murdered, you're going to start to show emotion. I was just angry. I was really angry.
Now, out of the selected jurors, we know there are 10 men and 8 women. They will be sworn in on Monday morning, and then 12 of them will be selected as the final to sit on this jury as opening statements begin. They have been asked to stay off social media and to not communicate with anyone about this case at all. I did get a ticket inside the main.
Do you guys ever wonder, do people, all these 18 people, will they all not speak out to somebody? Human nature, I don't know if they can actually do that, a lot of them.
Courtroom for Monday, so I will be live tweeting what happens throughout the day. Brian?
Justin, any talk of sequestering the jury?
That was talked about a little bit. The judge has not said there will be any sequestering at all. He indicated maybe at some time before a verdict is reached, way down the line. This is supposed to last 7 to 8 weeks. But these jurors are going to go home at the end of the day throughout these weeks.
And we will see you there from Boise. Thank you for that live report tonight. Justin,
So, yeah. What do you guys think of sequestering? Do you think that's unusually cruel, or do you think it's an important part of the process? Happy Easter. Happy Easter. Hoppy. Okay, let's see here. So Vallow is charged with I'm just going to call them attacks. First-degree attack and conspiracy in the deaths of 7-year-old JJ, 16-year-old Tylee. She's also accused of conspiring with Chad Daybell in the death of his first wife. Yeah, like, really? How convenient. And then they got married, like, what, a week later? As the judge read the charges to the group, I made direct eye contact with her, locked eyes with her. Not long after, I can tell she was starting to cry. As she picked up her glasses to wipe her tears, and the bailiff took the box of tissue over to her, and she said, "Thank you," to the bailiff. The group was then asked to fill out questionnaires, and we just talked about that. They look like they're fairly intense questionnaires. Let's see here. I think it was a question 6 that asked if I knew who the names Tylee, JJ, and then Tamara Poff said. This was one of the questions on the bottom of the third page, and I said yes. Poff would be excused from the trial via email. She says the moment in the courtroom with Vallow was surreal. As the mother of 2, something triggered her. Fair enough. Why emotion now? You have not shown any emotion this entire time. And now that the charges are being read and your children being dying, you're going to start to show emotion. I was just angry. Okay, that's better. I understand where she's going now. At first, I thought it was like she was seeing this person as a celebrity. But no, someone like that just would make me mad. So as for the selected jurors, we know again about the 10 men and 8 women. They'll be sworn in, and they will not know until the end, when deliberation starts, who the jurors are and who the alternates are. So this is a bit of a timeline. I don't mind this timeline. So 2006, let's see here. 2006, Lori marries Charles Vallow, who becomes the stepfather of Lori's daughter, Tylee. Together, they adopted JJ. 2017, Lori Vallow starts reading doomsday books written by Chad Daybell. Good God. 2018, Lori meets Chad, who is married to Tammy Daybell. They started recording religious podcasts together. I'll have to find one, maybe see if I can clip one into my community page, because, oh my God. It's actually kind of repulsive in my mind. So in 2019, Charles Vallow tells police he's worried about Lori and her end of the days talk, and then he files for divorce. Fair enough. Let me get back there. 2019, in July, Charles Vallow was shot and died by Lori's brother, who claimed he was defending his sister. 2019, Lori moves to Rexburg, Idaho, to be closer to Chad. Tylee, 17, disappeared, and JJ disappeared a few weeks later. 2019, October, Tammy Daybell, Chad's wife, dies. Authorities said it appeared to be by natural causes. Their children declined an autopsy. Well, you know what? I think they have been able to redo that, because now that is part of the charges. 2019, in November, Chad and Lori get married in Hawaii. Weeks later, authorities launch a nationwide search for Tylee and JJ. So Lori and Chad go back to Hawaii. 2020, January, a court orders Lori to produce her children. She's arrested in Hawaii weeks later after failing to comply. 2020, June, police search Chad's backyard and find, sadly, remains in two separate graves. They are identified as Tylee and JJ. Chad and Lori in 221 are charged with the first degree unaliving for deaths of JJ and Tylee. Chad is also charged with the death of his first wife, Tammy Daybell. Damn straight. Still nothing about Charles Vallow. Lori undergoes, 2021 to 2022, Lori undergoes several months of mental treatment after a judge found her unfit for trial in June of 2021. She was deemed mentally competent in April 2022. So they just needed to get her stable. They usually do that by medications. And once she got kind of, a lot of these people, they truly do need some help with something. So they got her stable. And once she was stable, taking her medications, evening out as a human, she's now competent. And I think the same thing is what's happening in Monkey's case, Michael Vaughn. In 2023, Lori's trial begins on April 3rd and is expected to last, get this, 12 weeks. I'm also hearing, it's supposed to be a long time. A long time. So, like I said, it is not being shown. They're not even doing, I think Nate might be getting audio, but he gives on that Idaho Statesman, he does give like awesome updates. So, and I mean, he gets out each break and yes, I have a question for the defendant. Why you do it, Tisha? Yeah. Yeah. Right? I'd make up my mind just looking at the accused. I can play games on my phone, my lord. Oh, my lord. Oh, my God. I'm afraid of getting carried away, running up and pushing. I feel the same way, Shauna, although the Stout case, the judge is letting the jury ask questions on the witness stand. And they do. They get an opportunity to ask questions. The judge asks, and if they do, they write down a piece of paper, and then they hand it to the guard guy. He takes it over, and the judge asks the questions. Have you ever seen anything like that? No. No. I know I couldn't have got to do research, man. I got to know everything to make a decision, right? Oh, I mean, it's going to be interesting what comes out. It's just really too bad that we don't have like a decent guy, a sketch artist, I guess. Yeah. Because it's kind of shitty, I think. Let's see here. I don't know if this is what I want. I don't think it is. No. I don't know how she does like just like Letitia's trial. I don't know how these women have a hope in hell of actually getting away with this. Letitia, I mean, it's just pathetic. I find this one. Let's see here if I can get this for you guys. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, what these people have done. Oh my God. And Alex Cox, like, I have a hard time finding that he just kind of, keeled over. And no. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm having issues here. Yeah, stuff I want to show you, I'm not having much success. So we'll look into it on another stream. I'll try right here. Okay, I'll try this. Let's check it out. No, thank you.
Lori Vallow spent the night in a Kauai Police Department jail cell, her bail set at $5 million. For months, Vallow has been living in Hawaii with her new husband, Chad Daybell, who sources tell CBS News was also questioned by police but was not arrested. Vallow faces 2 felony counts for deserting her children. She's also charged with delaying legal attempts to locate them and encouraging another person to do the same. And she's facing a contempt of court charge for not physically producing her children to authorities in Idaho as ordered. The 2 felony counts each carry a possible 14-year prison sentence.
I was pleasantly surprised to see, okay, these are serious felony charges.
Annie Cushing is Tylee Ryan's aunt. She's grateful Vallow has been arrested because it means she might be closer to knowing what happened to the kids.
I do feel hopeful. I feel like it would be premature to feel confident, because anything could happen.
Police have said Vallow and Daybell have lied about the children's whereabouts. Authorities are also investigating 3 suspicious deaths connected to the couple. Daybell's wife, Tammy, Vallow's estranged husband, Charles, and Vallow's brother, Alex Cox, who killed Charles and later died of...
See, that's what I think. Like, what about Charles Vallow and what about Alex Cox? Because I have questions. Tammy Daybell, I have questions. Like, I really hope that they are working hard on these cases because these guys don't have a good history of dealing with relatives well.
Unknown causes himself. But for Cushing, the children come first.
I want to know where JJ and Tylee are. I also feel confident that these charges could stick and she could potentially go away for a long time.
And we reached out to Vallow's attorney, but have not heard back. Last week, he told us he was under a gag order and was not able to speak, but authorities tell us they never issued one. We expect to learn more about this case at a news conference in Hawaii this afternoon. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Yeah. Unreal. So yeah, this is a while back, but I just kind of wanted, look what they've done. Look what they've done. In the divorce documents, Charles claims his wife believed she was a godlike figure sent to usher into the apocalypse, carry out the work of 144,000 believers, a reference to the Bible's book of Revelations. Their marriage ended suddenly when, in July, Lori Vallow's brother, Alex Cox, attacked Charles outside of the family's suburban Phoenix home. Police initially determined the shooting was in self-defense. Jesus Lord. And Cox was never charged. He then died 5 months later of a blood clot. So, I guess that would do it. Charles Vallow was the 4th husband. Her 3rd husband was Joseph Ryan, who was the father of Tylee. And he died in 2018 of a heart attack. JJ's father was also died. Vallow and the kids moved to eastern Idaho, where JJ's grandparents said they struggled to that's where JJ's grandparents are, and they said that they were struggling to reach him by phone. JJ's grandparents said that they last spoke to their grandson in August 2019 during a FaceTime call that lasted less than a minute. Well, rest in peace. What they did to these babies is unreal. At this point, Vallow had already begun a relationship with Daybell, an Idaho man that ran a small publishing company where he released a number of fiction books about apocalyptic scenarios loosely based on theology of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Police in Rexburg, Idaho, tried to conduct a welfare check on Vallow's children on November 26, 2019, but they were nowhere to be found. The couple lied to the police and said JJ was in Arizona with a family friend. Again, neat. They contacted that friend and she said, hell no, I haven't seen the kids. And she did confront Lori. And Lori gave her some dumbass excuse as to why she said the kids were with her. And the friends said, you know, you don't do that to a friend. It's just like, they believe they can get whatever they want, do whatever they want.
I had my hopes up. I'm a lot less optimistic at this moment.
Moments after Lori Vallow missed a court-ordered deadline to produce her 2 missing children, their grandmother addressed a room full of reporters, saying she was disappointed, but in no way surprised.
Lori's not going to make this easy. She's got an end game in her head. How do you not produce your child? The only word that is coming to my mind right now is a monster.
Vallow and her new husband, Chad Daybell, never reported the children missing. Instead, authorities say the pair left their Idaho home last November and have been staying on Kauai. On Sunday, law enforcement executed a search warrant at the Kauai Beach Resort and seized the couple's rental car. However, they were not arrested or charged with a crime.
Okay, guys, I have a question. Was it literally due, just an opinion, I mean, speculation, I suppose. Do you think he actually was the one who dismembered Kylie? Like, WTF? Just curious what you guys think. Was he actually the one? Did Alex help him? Regardless, how can you do this? Let me know what you guys think. Oh my God.
At the same time, Vallow and Daybell are at the center of investigations into deaths of their former spouses. Woodcock believes the couple is also part of a doomsday cult.
All this is just beyond crazy. I can't.
So this is JJ's grandma that can be considered a victim and can now go into the courthouse and watch the trial. For some reason, Lori's team did not want them in there. I don't know if it's because they didn't want them to actually hear what went on or what, but they were fighting it. They did not win.
Say for sure what's going to happen next, other than that I hope it is something that will get her attention, because I'd love to know where those kids are. And I think all of America wants to know where they are.
Yeah, how sad. Unreal. All right. Yeah. How the hell? How the hell? And then, regardless of which one it was of these people, how could you ever look at them again? Even like, does something nod in your head go, okay, I don't think this is the right thing. Like, I don't think we should maybe be doing this. Wow. And it does say that rumors began to swirl about Vallow and Daybell as the case of their missing children gained national attention in 2020. So, yeah, they are in the Hooskow. Oh, yes, the zombies. Oh, my word. Gibb reported that when she arrived, now this is Melanie Gibb, a very good friend at one time of both Chad and Lori, actually. So Gibb reported that when she arrived in Rexburg, Lori Vallow informed her that JJ Vallow... No. Oh, she was doing so good. Okay, we'll get back to that. Okay, so she said that Lori had informed her that JJ had become a zombie. Gibb further reported that the term zombie refers to an individual whose mortal spirit has left their body, and that their body is now the host of another spirit. The new spirit is a zombie. It is always considered a dark spirit. What the hell? What did I just read? What the hell? Oh my God. It wasn't the first time Gibbs said she had heard her friend talk about zombies. According to the statement, Gibbs said that Vallow called Tylee a zombie in the spring of 2019 when the teen didn't want to babysit her little brother, and that Vallow had first learned of the concept from Daybell at the start of that year. A zombie. Gibbs said the couple believed that when a zombie takes over a person's body, the person's true spirit goes into limbo and is stuck there until the host body is physically killed. The court document says, as such, death of the physical body is seen as a mechanism by which the body's original spirit can be released from limbo. What the actual F am I reading? Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Yeah, I prefer to avoid zombies. Sorry, I'm getting my dog bones. What a case. What a case. Well, do you know what? They say that everything that they're doing has something to do with the Bible. But you know how that goes even with more traditional, with actual religions. Everybody looks at that book and comes up with different meanings. They start, yeah, that's a whole different something. So yeah, they turned into zombies. Good God, Martha. So in the course of investigation into JJ and Tylee's death, detectives learned that Daybell's previous wife, Tammy Daybell, had unexpectedly died in October of 2019 of what was initially reported as natural causes. So this woman was young, she was healthy, and yeah, she just mysteriously passed away in her sleep. Daybell and Vallow married 2 weeks after Tammy passed away. So there we go. This is what I was wondering. I couldn't remember. Authorities did exhume Tammy's body, and prosecutors believe that Daybell and Vallow collaborated to attack her. When Vallow and Daybell were eventually charged, and that's my dog, she's singing for a cookie again. There is no way I can get through any kind of live, any kind of video I'm working on. You're going to hear Jazzy. I've gotten to the point, unless it's like long. This is my pet. This is Jazzy. This is her personality. I have so many pets. They're part of my life. That it's probably annoying to some. I apologize. So let's see here. When Vallow and Daybell were eventually charged in the attacks, the indictment said the couple did endorse and espouse religious beliefs for the purpose of encouraging and or justifying the homicides of Tammy, Tylee, and JJ. So yeah, back to religion. Some imaginary religion. Prosecutors believe the couple collected Tammy's life insurance policy and the kids' Social Security and survivors' benefits. A month later, Vallow was additionally charged with conspiracy to commit first degree and for the death of her previous husband, Charles. So that's good. Things are rolling with Charles' case. Several family members and friends described to detectives a group led by Vallow and Daybell. They met to pray, believing that they could drive all the evil spirits out and seek revelations from beyond the spiritual veil. Okay. In police reports, one friend said Vallow had told her she could teleport between Arizona and Hawaii, and that Daybell said she had a portal in his home where he could receive revelations and travel to another realm. Okay, these people are messed up. My opinion. So the trial. And of course, hang on here. It's literally deer or someone. It's literally deer or somebody walking their massive dog. We have, like I said, a lot of dog walkers here. Super little small town in the middle of the mountains. Sorry, friends. Oh my word. Oh my word. So Daybell faces the same charges as Vallow in Idaho, but will stand trial separately. Vallow has pled not guilty in the case, and her lawyers have submitted formal notice that they intend to offer an alibi. There we go. I've heard that. In the court documents, Vallow's lawyer said that she was in her own apartment in Rexburg, Idaho, when the children passed away at a nearby apartment where her brother lived. So not understanding this. The children, they lived in the same apartment building, just, a little bit down, but same building. So she's saying that she was in her room. The kids went over to visit Uncle Alex. And this is what happened with them at Uncle Alex's house. She had no idea. That's where she's going with this. And of course, he has died of what they say are natural causes. So I don't know. So in that court document, Vallow's lawyer said she was in her own apartment in Rexburg when the children died at a nearby apartment where her brother lived. Lawyer said she was with a couple of friends when this happened, and or Chad Daybell. Her lawyers also wrote that Vallow was in Hawaii with other friends when Daybell's previous wife died the next month. Daybell's lawyers haven't offered details about his planned defense other than saying in court that Daybell and Vallow will have mutually antagonistic defenses, a legal term that generally means a jury would have to disbelieve one defendant in order to believe another. Oh, isn't that an interesting tactic? Vallow's trial is supposed to last up to 12 weeks. That is rude. That's 3 months. Prosecutors announced that they would seek the DP against both defendants. But of course, we know that Lori has had that option removed in her case. So I don't know. Oh yeah, Daybell still faces it. Let's look at this, guys.
During the search of the property, investigators discovered what appeared to be unidentified human remains, and an autopsy will be conducted. Shortly after the remains were discovered, Chad Daybell was taken into custody and booked into the Fremont County Jail.
Damn straight.
Mr. Daybell will have his initial hearing tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. at the Fremont County Courthouse in a closed hearing.
Yeah. So yeah, got them. So hopefully the fact that I don't know how she's going to do it. I can't imagine she's going to do anything miraculous. I think she's going to end up going to jail for a long, long, long time. My personal opinion. So as far as that, it's what I've got. How are you guys doing? How you doing? More like outside by a bonfire naked. Who are we talking about? Because I tend to think I think that's the thing. Can you imagine zombies? What a crock. Yeah. No zombies, just demons, false prophets, and the devil is in there though. On the fourth day, God said, "Let there be light," turned on the sun, and the zombies scurried under the rocks. I can imagine Lori standing in the middle of her dance room with her eyes closed going, "Teleport, Lori. Teleport." I love it. Mexi. Yeah, more like outside by a bonfire naked. And I think I heard something about that, but so, guys, I'm going to peace out. I've got some real life things to do, and I do want to get ready for a couple of these other cases. I do have that probable cause affidavit. It's a few pages long. It would be a video on its own. So I don't know if anybody is interested in that. If you are, let me know down below. And if not, I'll continue to work on my other content. Okay, guys, I appreciate you. Thanks again. I always love having you all here with me. So for now, I'll say cheers, and I will see you in the next one. I think I can do this. Boom.